if I start reading every comment you write, bro, I'm literally going to drive my truck into a wall. I'm going to tell you guys something about this. It's guys like this who try to sound so smart, and they're not. Saying GameStop's not a $1 trillion company, or GameStop, Warren Buffett would never touch it. Well, let's talk about that. Warren Buffett can't touch it. Nobody can. It's owned by Ryan Cohen. They have the controlling stake. They have the power. And Warren Buffett only likes to buy things that he can actually have controlling stakes in. So we know that. You don't need Warren Buffett. We have Ryan. And you know what the best part about Ryan Cohen? He puts his own money in. Doesn't put other people's money in. It's his. He doesn't get awarded shares. He's not paid by anyone. So he's doing his thing. But when you look at GameStop, the business model that is GameStop, it's this smaller footprint. It's this agile thing that when it's nimble this way and light-footed, okay, you can implement new changes. You can, if you were a monster, you're just this monster company, billions and billions of dollars, and here you are trying to change the way the culture is perceived. You're going to pay for it. It's going to cost you money hand over fist. GameStop doesn't have a cash burn. It literally has free cash flow up to 26% a quarter right now. And you have to give that value, and no one's giving it value. Next, GameStop, when you look at it, just turnaround story, right? I always say, I got to see the whites of the eyes before I actually put money on this. Well, if you're going to wait for GameStop to show you just how great it is, then you're going to be too late. Because the truth is, they've been transitioning and pivoting for the last 5 years. Think about the swing profit for GameStop. It's been over $1 billion net, just from negatives to pluses. And that's because they have great leadership and a great business model. But that business model, it scales, guys. You guys keep talking about growth, and everyone's looking like you don't want to have cap expenditures and borrowed cash during this timeline, or even covenants, hindering what you can do. GameStop has zero loan facility. They don't borrow money from anybody. They're thriving off their own cash, and they have $9 billion of it. Oh, they diluted shareholders. Do you know what dilution is? Do you understand what convertible notes are? The idea that GameStop, one, is profitable every quarter. That's already a prerequisite to be into the S&P 500. The next would be market cap. And the only way you're going to get market cap is if you expand your float. What do? You dilute. You offer it on a convertible. So you allow people to invest into your company, and it's better than a pipe deal, like everyone else doing share offerings. You know what they're doing? They're offering it at a premium, a $30 premium per share. You can pin the price down all you want. Wall Street's buying in at $1 billion at a time. They sold 145 million shares, and they raised $4 billion. Like, people got to know the dollar amount they're getting for these shares. So when you're doing it and you're getting $30 a share, yeah, you're gonna come out tenfold. You're gonna come out on the other side of it, because you're gonna have a $20 billion market cap, and Wall Street's gonna recognize you, and you're gonna get to the S&P 500. Now all the mutual funds and every index fund has to have you. They have to buy you. They have to have an allotment of shares, percentage of shares of your company, because they trade off that index. So there you go. Now people are buying in, right? So mandatory buy-ins are coming for GameStop whenever these guys decide to go ahead and flex on this. But in the meantime, GameStop's earning a profit, right? And making money hand over fist every quarter, every chance they get, because these incremental changes on a nimble company, on a smaller footprint, that's the scale once the interest rates get lowered and they start deploying that cash. So when they deploy the cash, they're going to be great. When they want to scale and invest into themselves, you'll see it happening. Like, whoa, so now they are increasing. But it's for the next best idea. Like right now, Power Packs just got released today, and people understand GameStop's making dollars off of every transaction. It has this feel to it where they're integrating different websites and different companies, whether it be PSA and or eBay, in the same ecosystem that is GameStop. So GameStop's taking over collectibles and the hobbyists, and that's a whole market. That's billions and billions of dollars in this market, and GameStop's going to have a good footprint, but look, it's going to take years. It's going to take years for people to adopt it. So why wouldn't I want to be ahead of it? Why wouldn't I want to invest now when I know the price is where it's at? Keep offering shares, keep raising cash, but it's all about optionality. You have to have the option to do something better than what you were doing previously. And the only way you have that option is when you have financial freedom, meaning no borrowed money, no covenants, nothing. They don't do it that way. So look at the board of directors. It's a tight-knit group. Look at how they actually suspended their loan facility, because they don't want to be beholden to anyone and have to explain why they're doing X, Y, and Z. They can make the decisions for that company in secrecy, and that's what you want, because you don't want Amazon to leverage. You don't want the next company that's going to be within arm's reach to come up with the same idea you do. You want to be the first to the party? Sure. If you want to be second, then just be better. That's it. And that's what GameStop is. So I hope I explained it to you the best way I can. But chances are you're going to be a naysayer like you are right now. And it's irritating because there's no reason to hate on GameStop. Absolutely none. You don't understand the business model. They'll say things like, they sell video games, it's digital, it's brick and mortar, and not even realizing that the percentage of sales for them, video games is the lowest sector that they sell. Literally 20% of their revenue is video games. So 1/5 of their sales is video games. Everything else is going to be hardware, accessories, and of course services, in addition to the PSA graded cards and collectibles. So yeah, you're losing. You're going to lose hard, but GameStop's a turnaround. They're not firing on all cylinders yet. So when you start looking at margins and you start comparing percentages, just remember that. You can go get those companies that are firing at the top tier. Go for it. You're going to start comparing them to GameStop? Well, guess what? You're going to lose because GameStop's going to marginally go up every single quarter like they have over the last 12 quarters, and they're winning. They're winning huge, but they haven't been given valued. They have not given 1 ounce of value for these wins. There's a premium GameStop's charging the world to buy convertible notes, and guess what? People are buying them. So if the world's willing to invest into GameStop, yet you guys, you naysayers on here, are even making stupid comments, like, you're not educated. You're completely ignorant. Yeah, I don't know what measurements or what measurables you want to go ahead. What metric system are you using? Tell me. I want to know every metric that you're using to gauge GameStop versus anyone. Because GameStop's not an S&P 500 company. It's an S&P 400 mid-cap. It's on the outside looking in. And when it gets in, I want you to look at the track record of companies that get into the S&P 500 and how much money they make. They make a ton of money the minute they get in because of these forced buy-ins. No one's complaining about this, elongated float. Go look at Palantir, 2 billion shares. Go look at all, they all raised cash. And look at their evals. And people are buying them and they're promoting them. And every stock analyst is doing it. And what are they at? They're at 600 PE ratios. They're at 200 PE ratio on Tesla. You're telling me these are great companies, right? I look at the balance sheet a whole different way. I look at book value. You're looking at the average company in the S&P 500, which is over leveraged, by the way. It's trading at 5x. That's the most expensive the market's ever been off of book versus true. So when you look at it, you go, okay, there's book value, there's tangible, and then there's the market itself. Well, guess what? GameStop's not getting that. They're getting a 2x on book when the whole world's getting 5 to 10. Let them get into the S&P 500, see how it gets. It's going to get wild out here. And when it does, and when this happens, it's going to happen. I don't care. Take me a year or two, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. It's going to be the biggest no-brainer on Wall Street. They're going to be like, holy shit, look at these numbers. They look so amazing. And you can't deny it. $1 billion of profit, $500 million of profit a year, your PE ratio is out the window. Because not only are they making profit per year, they're sitting on a stack full of cash that nobody can even explain. That $9 billion, any company, you got to remember this too about raising cash. They diluted their shareholders. They didn't dilute anything. Dilution, when you take money out of the company, that's the dilution of it. You went ahead and expanded the float, and then you took the cash you raised on it, and then you spent it. Now that money's gone. Now, no, you know what happened? They put it back into the company. Actually, book value per share, and guess what? Went from $4 a share all the way to 11 and 12. That's the truth. So if the core value of the company is increasing, then you tell me how it's worth $22. Because I'll show you profits like you can't even imagine. And when you take FCF ratios and you go ahead and look at income itself, at the end of the day, even the interest they generate off the $9 billion, that interest alone is a reason to invest. You want to talk about a discount? Go ahead and discount the cash, discount the book, discount it all. All the ratios you want. There's not a company out here trading outside of the S&P 500 with as much cash as GameStop and the profits GameStop has. Nobody. So don't tell me you can name a company that's better than GameStop. Those guys are already in the S&P 500 and they're all tapped out. They're maxed out. They're capped X'd out. That's what they're doing. They're getting value for the last 5 years off of money that they spend. And half the money they spend is on share buybacks. They're pumping their own stock. I don't care about the stock price. You also got to remember that. I don't care where the stock goes. Up, down, left, right. I don't care where it goes. I'm buying it every day because I'm an investor. I'm not a day trader. Are we done? I thought so.